All right, today we're going to start off with showing you how to build your own GPT. Um, a GPT, so ChatGPT, obviously most of you have probably seen this. You can ask it questions and it will generate answers. What a GPT does is it enables you to create your own data set that it can reference, and then but you can give it some kind of persona, some sort of task instructions at its core. So what we can do is we can go into My GPTs and we can create one. Now here, probably the most important part is this knowledge. So we've got to upload some files. So what I'm going to do in this example is I'm going to go to Wikipedia, and I've got quite a comprehensive history of Australia. Now, I could PDF this to create a GPT, or I often find sometimes if I just select all, I can select all of that text. And if I go to a text editor, I can create a new file. I can paste all that text in. Now, the reason I've done this in text is because the GPTs for each file can only take 5 megabytes. But 5 megabytes of text is a lot of text. So if I save this as Australia History 1, so we'll save that down. So now, if I go into my GPT, the first thing I like to do, the important thing to note here is you can create it by just telling it what you want it to do. I don't like this. I like to configure it myself. So if I upload here, Australia History 1, and that's only 277 kilobytes, so it's a very small file. So it's uploading here. So now in the background, that will be indexing that. So let's call this history of Australia bot. A description, what it does. This is a bot to learn more about Australian history. The instructions. Now, this is what it does, how it behaves, and what it should be doing, what it should avoid doing. Okay, so you are a history teacher that is trying to convey understanding of Australian history. Now, and a good example here is you might want to pitch it at a certain level. So the audience is 17-year-old students, and you want to be as comprehensive in your answers as possible. So that's probably as good as enough. So by putting it in as a persona and what you're trying to do, the bot will take on that behavior. And in this case, it's going to pitch the language at the level of a 17-year-old. So a conversation starter example might just be, please give me a brief overview of history and the topics that can be explored. Okay, now if you want to, you can add your own photo for this, or you can use DALL-E. So DALL-E is just going to look at all this text, and it's going to generate generative AI off the back of it. Usually takes a moment. There we go. That looks pretty appropriate. And I can go down to these additional settings, Now, in here, it says use the conversation data in your GPT to improve our models. I typically turn that off because, it's just a security thing. It's just so your data doesn't end up in their models. That's just a little catch-all. So now it won't do that. Now we want to create that. Now you can create it for anyone with the link, or only for me. In this case, I'm going to go only me. Now the other cool thing here is you can actually upload this to the GPT store so others can find it. So you can actually make your own content available to the whole world, which you can search, and the good ones will go to the top. Just be careful with copyright with these things. If you're taking other people's content, there might be licenses and stuff, but if it's just for personal use, it's okay. So we're just saving that down. Now we want to view our GPT. So let's use the example we put there. Please give me a brief overview. There we go. Indigenous prehistory, early European exploration, colonization, expansion, settlement, path to federation, world wars. So you can really open up on what's there. Can you give me a brief history on our prime ministers? Let's see what it knows. Since 1901. Let's get the history. So yeah, these are super useful. So you can obviously put text in for prompting, but these really limit the data that can be in there. Now those files are 5 megs each, but you can add multiple files. And so one of the cool things you can do is, say for example, you wanted to write a document in a certain structure from a certain set of content, or you wanted to provide a series of contexts, you could upload, say, I don't know, a national strategy on, say, cybersecurity. You could upload the University Accord, and you could upload the structure of a report you wanted to write. You could upload those 3 documents in, create a GPT, and instruct it that it's a professional consultant that is designed to build a report. And then you can literally just prompt from one to the other. So you could actually say, use this document, reference these documents as input, and use this structure. And then it would create the output. So rather than just having access to the sort of the open internet version of ChatGPT, this gives you fine-grained control over your inputs and your prompts. And these also you can share. So you can share this with anyone. I think they will need a ChatGPT account to use it, but it is free to use if you've got a free account. So you can build these and share these with your friends on specific topics. I think that's enough for today. We'll leave it there. Thanks.